Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to and all participants and special delegates of Latin America and the Caribbean, presenters and observers. We would like to thank everyone for joining the 16th meeting of the Livestock Development Meeting for Latin America and the Caribbean. My name is Sofia Garbaez, and I will be the moderator for the next 3 days. The first item on the agenda is the national anthem of Ecuador. Before beginning this commission meeting, we would like to introduce Minister of Agriculture and Livestock of Ecuador, Mr. Izaguirre. The floor is yours. Good morning, everyone. Mr. Mario Lubeguin, Assistant Director of FAO and Regional Representative for Latin America and the Caribbean, Mr. Carlos Cherniak, President of the Subcommittee of Livestock of COAG, and the Minister of the Rural Development of our ministry. And we would like to greet the representatives who are joining from different countries in the region. The Livestock Development Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean is an important instance for all the programs that drive the livestock development in the region. In this meeting, we will have presentations from countries such as Uruguay, Brazil, Costa Rica, Mexico, among others, and we will be talking about regenerative livestock breeding and farming, and also sustainable development and animal health and trade and the animal genetic resources and the challenges that small farmers and livestock farming producers face. This is a sector that's very important because we have over 258,000 farmers that work in this sector in Uruguay. And we would like to align with all our knowledge and also help our small farmers to improve their lives in this sector and their living conditions. We think that this is the best way to actually improve the quality of life of the small farmers, despite the difficulties that this in sector represents in Ecuador. As the Ecuadorian government, we expect the results of this regional commission to actually become or give us a result, the technical cooperation and development of groups and activities to strengthen the capacity and technical seminars on animal policies, animal and livestock farming policies and regional participation in technical matters. We would like to thank you for participating and we also thank you for your commitment. We would like then to formally begin this meeting where we will be actually providing ways of improving the rural sector in Latin America and the Caribbean. Thank you so much and good morning. Thank you, Minister Izaguirre. Now we will offer the floor to Mr. Mario Lubetkin, the Assistant Director General for FAO and the Regional Representative for Latin America and Caribbean. He will be sharing a video for FAO.
Excelentísimo señor Eduardo Izaguirre, ministro de Agricultura y
Mr.
Ganadería de
Eduardo
Ecuador,
Izaguirre, Minister of
anfitrión de esta
Livestock
comisión,
and Agriculture of
señorías
Ecuador,
autoridades y
hosting this
representantes miembros de
commission,
la
and all the
Comisión del Desarrollo
distinguished
Ganadero
representatives
para
and
América Latina y el
officials
Caribe.
and members of
Es
the
un honor dirigirme a
Livestock Development
ustedes en esta
Commission for Latin
16ª
America and the
sesión
Caribbean. And
de la
it's a great honor for me to address
En
you
los
in this
últimos años,
16th
al
session
igual que
of
todo el mundo,
the
hemos vivenciado
Commission.
en América Latina y el Caribe un retroceso en las cifras de
This
hambre e
is
inseguridad alimentaria en la
something that
región,
we would like to
y el
mention
impacto de
about
una falta de
what we have
beneficios
done in the
económicos
region. There has been
ha
an impact
incidido
of
en el aumento
different
del hambre y de la
crises that
malnutrición
have had
en
an
todos sus sectores.
impact on
Desigualdad de
hunger and
acceso,
food
cambio
security
climático, la
in
pobreza
every single
energética, la
way,
crisis
the
económica
different
generalizada y
crises and
efectos que han
inequality in
incidido
income and
no
also
obstante,
climate
el
change have
tema de
influenced
producción
the
ganadera y las
situation.
cadenas de valor
Nonetheless, the
se han convertido
livestock
en un motor
production
económico
systems
esencial
and value
para
chains
estos
have
países. Estos han
turned
llegado
into
a
a
tocar muchos de
driver
los medios de vida
for the
de
social and
muchos
economical
productores,
development of these
contribuyen
countries.
a la seguridad alimentaria
And
y a la
therefore, food
multiplicación y
security
creación de empleo en
is
sectores que se
benefits
ven
from
comprometidos
the
por la
livestock farming
globalización.
that has
América Latina
multiplying
y el
effects
Caribe, con
for
13,5%
the
de la
local
población
economies.
mundial,
Latin America and the
son
Caribbean,
el
with
28%
13.5% of
de la
the
población mundial,
global
representando el 23% de la
population,
flota mundial de
represents
carne vacuna y el
28% of the
11,8%
livestock
de la
herd
población.
worldwide, with
Tanto,
23%
el
of
sector pecuario es un
the
eje de trabajo prioritario
world
para el impulso de la FAO y la
beef
cooperación técnica que
production.
brinda a sus Estados miembros.
Therefore,
Aunque hemos
all the
evidenciado
help we can
importantes avances
offer,
en la
technically
mejora de la
speaking, from
producción
the member
ligada
countries
a la
is
ganadería,
helpful.
aún
We
existe una
have
serie de
evidenced
desafíos
important
que se ven
progress in the
agravados
improvement
por la
of production and
vulnerabilidad
productivity,
de los productores a los
and
problemas
this is
globales
all
climáticos, las
affected
enfermedades
by the challenges
endémicas,
faced
emergentes y
by
recurrentes,
farmers'
la
vulnerability
degradación de la
and
escasez del
global
agua y el
problems,
conflicto.
water
Durante
scarcity,
estos
and
días
conflicts.
esperamos que podamos
Over the
profundizar
next
en la
few days,
discusión
we
y
hope
en el
to
análisis
gain
del
insight
marco
and
de esta
have deep
comisión donde
discussions
abordarán sin duda
on
temas
this topic
relacionados a
in
la
this
producción
commission, where we will be
ganadera sostenible y la
addressing
ganadería
many
regenerativa. Tendremos
aspects of this
esa
matter, like
articulación, el
sustainable
rol y los
livestock
desafíos a los que
farming,
se enfrentan pequeños productores de
regenerative
animal, la
livestock
digitalización,
farming mechanisms,
y el crecimiento
certification, and also all
sostenible.
the
Estaremos muy
animal
atentos
genetic
a
resources
aquellas
and animal
indicaciones
health, among
y a
other
las
topics.
recomendaciones
We
que se
will be
emitirán
paying special attention to everything that will be shared in this commission, so we can use that for the next meeting that will be held in March in Georgetown, Guyana. So I wish you a successful meeting so that this space can become a source of improvement for our partnership in favor of the livestock farming value chain to actually move forward with the sustainable development of our region. Thank you so much. Now, we offer the floor to Mr. Carlos Cherniak. He's the president of the Subcommittee of Livestock of the Commission, and he will be offering some opening remarks too.
Bueno, vamos a continuar. Creo que tenemos un problema de conexión.
We are having a connection issue, but we would like to offer the floor then to Mr. Andres Gonzalez. He's the development officer for the regional office of FAO for all matters related to livestock farming. Thank you so much and good morning, everyone. Mr. Eduardo Izaguirre, Minister of Agriculture and Livestock of Ecuador, Mr. Andres Suarez, Vice Minister of the Rural Development, and Mr. Undersecretary of Animal Production, and Mr. Mario Luetking, Assistant Director General for FAO and the Latin American and Caribbean region, Mr. Carlos Cherniak, President of the Subcommittee of Livestock of the Livestock Commission, and everyone who has joined us today. We would like to welcome everyone on behalf of FAO and the General Secretariat of our Commission. We are very grateful to Ecuador for hosting this meeting. In the last meeting in year 2021, that was the first meeting after the COVID pandemic, we agreed to work on priority topics for the region related to sustainable livestock farming. Among other topics, the priorities were the creation and development of financial mechanisms to support the implementation of good livestock farming practices at the level of small farmers, and also for the communication of experiences and scientific data related to livestock development and the food security and the transformation of agro-food systems to make them more resilient and sustainable in light of the climate change. We will be discussing topics that were agreed 2 years after the 15th meeting of our commission, which have already been mentioned by the previous presenters that have to do with issues that will affect the sector where we need to strengthen the sustainability of our livestock farming operations, regenerative farming and regenerative livestock farming, and also certification matters, animal health, and the role and also challenges of small farmers to be more competitive and resilient to climate change and to be able to have sustainable development. I wish everyone success, an excellent meeting for us to create a roadmap and a working plan for the next few years. And this commission will make all the necessary arrangements to bring everything that is discussed here into fruition. Thank you so much. I would like to thank our presenters for opening this meeting. And now we will elect the Vice President, President, and Rapporteur of the Commission. Both the presidency and or the chairperson and the vice president of this meeting will be leading the discussion, and they will also approved the working plan for the next 2 years. Now we offer the floor to the official delegates of the participating countries so that they can nominate their candidates for chairing this commission. Good morning. Greetings from Costa Rica. Go ahead, please. We would like to actually nominate Ecuador as president so that then is Ecuador. The countries can actually vote by using the Zoom reactions or by writing their choice in the chat. Thank you so much. We now need to choose the vice chair. Once again, we offer the floor for the countries to nominate their candidate. Mexico, go ahead, please.
Mostrar conformidad con el señalamiento.
I would just like to say that I would agree with Ecuador being the chairperson. Fernando Valderrama, go ahead, please. I just raised my hand accidentally, but we have been proposed to be vice chairpersons. And so we will await the decision of the plenary group to assume that role. Thank you, Arturo. Thank you so much. If everyone agrees, then Mexico will be the vice chair for the commission. We beg the countries to express their approval. Thank you so much. To finish the election of the dignitaries, we need to appoint a rapporteur of the commission that will work with the technical secretariat in the summary and drafting of the final report based on the recommendations and agreements reached during this region. We once again offer the floor to the countries to express their um, decision. Paraguay, go ahead. Uh, uh, Paraguay is volunteering to be rapporteur. So Paraguay is volunteering for the rapporteur role. We ask the rest of the countries to approve this motion. Before continuing, we would like to bring before the delegates the approval of the agenda and program for this meeting. Thank you for the approval. So this brings to a close the Executive Commission of the first day, and now we continue with our agenda. As for the method used in this meeting, we will have different panel members that will be sharing their experiences related to each of the topics that we have chosen, so that then the delegates of the member countries can discuss in their own working groups each topic, coming up with different consensus and different insights about their needs for support. The secretariat and technical secretariat and the rapporteur will be taking note of the discussions to then draft the recommendations and conclusions that will be presented for validation by the delegates in the framework of the last day, in the executive meeting of the last day. Now we will continue with the presentation on the main outcomes of the 15th meeting of CLDLAC that was hosted by Uruguay. They were the chairperson at that time. Unfortunately, the Minister of Agriculture, Fishing and Livestock, Mr. Fernando Matos, will not be able to participate live because of urgent matters he had to attend. Nonetheless, he sent a video that we will be showing now.
Es un gusto estar con ustedes.
It's a pleasure for me to be with you in this meeting, which is actually the farewell for us as pro tempore chairs of the CLDLAC. It has been a great experience for us to be able to contribute to the development of livestock farming and to discuss the issues that affect all the region. We are a region that lives off livestock production, and of course, anything that is implied in that has to do with our territory, our customs and traditions, and has a social impact. So animal husbandry is actually one of the economy drivers, especially for the rural families. It's a great industry for one of the regions with the largest livestock production of the whole planet. We had to assume this position as chairs when we had just barely arrived to the Ministry of Livestock farming. So now we would like to offer our wishes for success for those who will be taking over this role, offering continuity for this work that FAO is also in charge of. Animal husbandry is very closely related to climate change and the environment, and of course all the effects of climate change. Right now, in the southern part of the continent, we are facing one of the most serious droughts in history. We haven't had such a situation in over 100 years. So now in the middle of winter, we are facing very complex situations for feeding our livestock because of this lack of water, and this has really impacted us. So this brings to mind the responsibilities that each country must assume, where clearly we as countries, as food producing countries, are heavily impacted by the effects of climate change that have been caused particularly by the industrial era that has promoted the development of many countries with the effects of the emissions that have generated greenhouse gases that have raised the temperature of the planet. Our production systems are impacted. They are growingly vulnerable. But we are not, of course, responsible for the climate change, but are surely affected by it. Of course, the activities that produce climate change are outside our sector, and we have to deal with the circumstances with a climate that is growingly more and more unpredictable and variable, which will lead to future challenges. And we also have to reduce our own emissions. We have tried in Uruguay that it's possible to improve productivity by reducing emissions and reducing the intensity of emissions. So there's work that can be done to support all the international policies to reduce emissions. But clearly, making or establishing the point that Uruguay and countries such as Uruguay are not the major responsible parties behind climate change. And there are other activities that also should make greater commitment to reverse this situation that we're in. And of course, there's an effect of this on trade. There's great concern of the climate reality and climate change and its effects. But clearly, here we have a reaction aimed at increasing trade barriers that are linked to environmental issues. And this is a growing concern for exporting countries or animal product exporting countries, because we face an international trade system that has been historically very protected and now will have an additional protection that will be very hard to face. And as we understand, this must be laid out on the table to discuss. Beyond that, the climate challenges, of course, also entail health-related challenges. This is something that we have been able to see for ourselves. There are different vectors and diseases that we have to face, exotic diseases, for our production activities. And this, of course, has an indirect effect, and it's an indirect effect of climate change affecting animal health. Therefore, we wish to raise an alert about the situation, but we also want to be optimistic about this activity that is key for the economical and social development of our populations. We have a great future as an area in the world that produces the animal protein for the whole world. So we need to strengthen our position and also reject all the false statements that are spread about livestock farming. We want to be able to create more information so people can discriminate between what we produce, which is actually healthy food for the whole of humankind. Thank you so much. I wish you the best to my successor, the Minister of Ecuador, that will then carry the flag in advocating for livestock farming in the region.
Thank you, Minister Mata, and representing Uruguay for the great work you've done over the last 2 years leading CLDLAC. Now we're going to stop at the live broadcasting. I would like to thank everyone who has followed this event through our social media. We are going to have a 5-minute break to then continue with our agenda. Thank you.